Now, I don't know about you, but at home, I've been asked by the missus a lot to make a French toast casserole. And when I heard about it, I'm like, is that like a lasagna but for French toast? So I know how to make French toast. You can check that out right here. But I really had to do some research on this, and there's so many different types of recipes. And I think I just used my French toast recipe and try to do something cool with it to make it a fun French toast casserole. It is a lot of sugar, so don't have this one that often. Maybe once a year. That'll be good. And a small portion. Let's get started. So as always, all the recipe ingredients are linked down below. And we're gonna first start by making our cinnamon sugar. All you need for that is your white sugar, some brown sugar. Here is, I think, light brown, some cinnamon, and then mix it up. Have fun with it. And that's great for topping on drinks as well. Then we'll start making the actual custard and the milk egg mixture for the French toast. So we have eggs that I'm cracking pretty swiftly with some milk, some almond extract, which I discovered while making a Starbucks inspired beverage, and then some vanilla extract, which is also great. Put some more cinnamon in there and some freshly grated nutmeg, although you can use pre-grated one as well. Then a touch of salt to really accentuate all the different flavors, and then mix that all up. We'll put that to the side as we get out our cold butter, which we'll snap into molten butter. Add that to a bowl full of brown sugar. Now this is gonna be like our kind of like a moist layer at the bottom. It basically is gonna help get a nice crust on the edges, and will keep the bread nice and moist as the egg starts to cook. I did tell you it's a lot of sugar. So let's continue. Now I am using sourdough bread here, my favorite kind, but it's also going to be great, this recipe, with Texas toast. And while I was going to get that, I realized I don't want to have multiple loaves of bread at home. But if you have Texas toast at home, no need to get out of your way to get sourdough. And what I always like to do is let it dry out a bit. That just helps it absorb more because there's less moisture within the bread itself. And that adds more flavor. 30 minutes should be fine, and then you can add half of that brown sugar butter mixture into your casserole. I have a square one here. I believe it's about 9" by 9" or 10" by 10", something like that, not too large. And then I'll add and arrange some of my bread loaves, my bread slices in there. You can tear whatever you need to fit and basically fill all the gaps. Then add about a half cup or so of your egg and custard mixture, which basically is your egg and milk mixture, and that basically is going to be half of the total volume. Then you can sprinkle on some of your cinnamon sugar, and you can really try to control it to really fit your needs. If you don't want it to be that sweet, don't put as much as what I did. Then we add another layer of bread in the same manner, and then we'll add another and our final layer of our custard, followed by the rest of that brown sugar and butter mixture. Now I'm also going to add a touch more of cinnamon sugar, and then this is now ready to be baked in an oven that's been preheating at 350 Fahrenheit. Now you want to cook it uncovered for about 30 minutes. And you want to keep a close eye because each oven is a bit different. If it starts to brown too quickly, or if the top is drying out, then cover it up. While that's going on, I'm making the crumble. That's going to make a nice crispy topping. And again, a lot of sugar. So for this, we just have some flour. This happens to be a gluten-free flour. And we can also add some of our cinnamon sugar in there. The ratio of sugar to flour is almost 1:1. You just mix that up, and then you add in some cold butter. And you could have chopped it up earlier, but I was a bit lazy. So I'm just gonna add it in and try to break it up into smaller chunks. And if you're really patient, you can keep doing that. But if you're not as patient, then you can just use your hands and crumble it up. Make sure you wash up before you play with the butter. You wanna look for these small pea-sized granules of butter. So 30 minutes in, I had covered it for the last 5 minutes. So You want to top it with the crumble, make a thin layer, and you want to see those chunks because that's what's going to get nice and crispy. And you might have some extra crumble mix left. Put that aside for now. Now another 15 to 25 minutes in the oven uncovered, and it might still be soft as you take it out when the timer goes off. But what you want to look for is that color to change and darken, because as that crumble cools down, that's when it's going to become crispy. So don't let that fool you. I hadn't done this before, so I just used some of my previous experience with the fact that we're basically boiling or heating up sugar, and it's reacting with the butter, the fat, and the flour. So while it's hot, it'll be soft, but as it cools down, it'll crystallize basically. And you can see that it deflates a bit as it cools down, which is fine because you don't want it to be too messy and maybe burn yourself with that hot sugar. So be careful, use your best judgment call, and then you can slice that all up and start serving it with, more sugar. Powdered sugar this time, different forms of sugar. So we're pretty varied over here. And then I'm gonna have some whipped cream on the side as well, and that's gonna make for a great sweet breakfast. By the way, if you work out, this will be, I think, great as a pre-workout. Just carb loading, and try it. Let me know how your next workout was, if you felt any stronger. I'm gonna try that tomorrow. And with that, as I told you, you can and with that, as I told you, you can look at the regular French toast if you are craving that. But if you want to splurge and experience something new, more decadent, this could be like a dinner party kind of upscaled French toast, right? Maybe in personal size casseroles, you can do so much with it. So go do what you want with it. And I'll see you on the next one. See ya.